going to be setting up some cottonseed feeders today. We had a warm front come in, so it's kind of warm, so I want to do some work outside. It's supposed to get cold again tonight. We have another cold front moving in. We're going to be down in the 30s, so I want to get this done before that happens. Basically putting out cottonseed feeders. Right now it's middle of December, and our deer have already went through rut. Our whitetails have already rutted. They went through the first rut, like the first week of November, and then about 3 weeks after that, they went through their second rut. So right now all the bucks are in post rut for the most part. So they're going to be out looking for food to eat and regain their strength. One good way to do that for out here is, protein obviously, but I like to feed cottonseed. I don't know, I just feel like it's better for them. I'm probably wrong, but well, it's a little bit cheaper for me too. One thing to note is the cottonseed has glycol in it. And if you don't know what that is, I don't really know how to explain that. Glycol basically can affect them in a few different ways. It's good for them, but also it can reduce their sperm count. So if it's rut, they're going into rut, or they're, a couple weeks before rut, if you're pumping this full into them, their sperm count isn't going to be as high, and then also it affects antler growth. So usually I don't feed this when they're growing antlers, and I don't feed it before the rut. I always do this after the rut. I'll do this towards the end part of the winter, and a little bit, just a hair into the spring, and then I'll stop feeding them this, and I'll switch back over to, clovers, alfalfa, soybean, stuff like that, and corn, obviously. But we already did a couple feeders so far. I think right now I have 6 on the property. I'm gonna make 2 more, and I'm gonna kind of show y'all what I do to make them. We also are gonna throw out some no plow, but I'll make a video probably tomorrow about throwing out some no plow and making a small little food plot for the deer for this coming year. But yeah, I'm gonna start tearing into this and get it made. All right, there it is. So basically all I did was I put 2 T-posts, drove them in the ground a little bit. I mean, they're not far apart. They're, it's like 6 inches apart. Put those about 6 inches, get some chicken wire. I think it's like 3 foot tall, maybe. It's about 3 feet tall. Get some chicken wire. I usually get the 1 inch. So the diameter, or the diameter of the holes is about 1 inch. What I do to prevent it from all just falling out to the ground is I'll wrap it 3 times, and I'll try to offset it like this. I don't know if you can see that. It's kind of offset. That's to prevent it from all just coming out, and they can just come up and they'll nip at it and pick some out, or they'll hit it and it'll fall out. I put a little bit of deer corn in there just to help them find it and kind of see if I can attract more of them. So we're going to throw it all out because I messed up and dropped it. But this is actually going to be a good, I think, axis spot right here. I think out there by that tree I'll put a bow stand. That way I have a good view of this whole area. There's a trail coming from over here, a trail right there, one right here, and a pretty heavily used one right here. So there's quite a few trails leading to this area. So I don't think it's going to take them long to find it. And if you don't have a lot of access on your land, one thing I noticed that kind of kept them around on my land a little bit longer was cottonseed, sweet feed, and alfalfa. If you can put those things out, they're going to be more than likely to stay a little bit longer. They don't really eat corn like deer do. They don't eat the same stuff as deer. Like deer eat acorns, clovers, all this other stuff. But they more are kind of like graze. They're more of like a grazing animal. They'll, get their little packs, their little herds, and they'll just kind of walk along, find somewhere to eat. They'll eat, bed up somewhere, and they'll keep on moving. Like I get multiple groups that just cycle through the property all the time. I have a couple that stay on the property, but it's still hard to find them. One thing about axis is they don't have a season like whitetail do. Like every year you can kind of predict within a week or two when your whitetail are going to go into rut. Axis go into rut whenever. For example, right now I have an axis that just dropped his horns. I have a couple of axis that are growing their horns, and I have a few axis that are hard horned. So it's kind of spaced out random throughout the year of when they do their thing. But I had the most luck getting Axis in February. I have an Axis call that I use. It's called Easy Axis. If you're able to get your hands on one of those, they work pretty good. I'll use those, and you can usually call and get the intention of the Axis to come a little closer. But you're not going to be sitting there calling it, and they're going to come from miles away. But if they're in the relative area and you know how to use it, they'll usually come by and check it out. But yeah, that's kind of the setup. You don't really need much. T-post, chicken wire, something to cut it up with, and that's about it. I think I'm going to go ahead and trim these trees and see how it looks coming in from over there for a little bow stand. So let's do that.